Y'all, yes, I know you guys see the title. I'm literally fresh in from the movies right now. I was debating on if I was going to make a video about this, and you guys know if I'm making a video about a movie I've watched, it had me shook. Okay. I'm going to spoil this movie in this video because I don't know how else to talk about the movie. So if you are thinking about seeing The Woman in the Yard, or if you are maybe getting ready to see it, maybe save this video for later and then maybe we can all kiki later. But yes, there's going to be spoilers in this video in regards to the movie because, girl, look, I know I made the meme, right? I literally, it's just like one of those dumb things. Like, dude, when I saw the trailer, okay, what movie did I see the last time? Okay, I saw The Monkey recently. So the trailers for Woman in the Yard were already playing, like in theaters. And literally, when I had first saw the trailer for The Woman in the Yard, that's all I could think of was, and he looks at me, and I look at him, and he looks at me, and I look at him. So I was like, let me just fucking make this meme because that's all I can think about. And it's crazy because I went out today and I was like, I told the person that I went with, I was like, look, I just want to laugh. I'm down to see some goofy shit. I'm sure Woman in the Yard is going to be like one of those dumbass movies that like is going to be like one of those horror movies where it tries to be something, but it's like, you know, whatever, lame and like funny. Girl, the plot is deep. Girl, I was shook. Like, I was shook. I even got a little scared. I know, me. Right? Like, girl, I was shook. Okay, so the movie, first of all, the movie starts off with the mom. Like, it starts off, she's like in crutches. She's like, you know, like, I guess really at her wit's end with existence. Which we've all been there, but she's at her wit's end with existence, and she's like going through it, and she's getting stressed. And I guess like she's a single mom. The dad had passed away and everything, and so it's like super deep. First of all, if I would have known that this movie was this deep, I probably would have never made my meme. That was just me being goofy. But how the fuck was I supposed to know? So it's like I didn't know, but I'm like, damn. I'm like, damn. I'm like, just kind of hitting home. But as a mommy, anything mom related, anything with kids, it's like, it's gonna get me right in the soft spot, right in the feelings, right? So it's like I was watching, and I was like, God damn, like that's pretty deep. And she's getting up, and you know, you can tell she's pretty overwhelmed. The house has a lot of issues, like electrical issues. The house has, I think they're even struggling with like their gas, like their stove like doesn't light fully, so you have to like finesse it with like a lighter or something in order to have like proper gas on the stove or whatever. And I guess like, you know, they have, you know, a bunch of bills and stuff, and she's like super overwhelmed, and it's just her. And they also, you know, happen to live in the middle of no damn where, and it's just like, why? You know what I mean? And so it's a lot. And so like, girl. So then here comes The Woman in the Yard. And at first, I was under the impression that The Woman in the Yard was the mom's, and the mom's name is Ramona, the mom's shadow self. I thought that this was like her facing like her shadow self, and like they're there to have a kiki. And I guess maybe my intuition might have been kind of on point because the way the mom was living, it was giving more like not a very interactive mom, which look, I feel for moms. I feel for moms of all walks of life. Whether you're a stay-at-home mom, whether you're a working mom, whether you're a single mom, whether you're a married woman, you know, whether you have one child or like 10 children. I feel for moms, period, because every mom goes through her own thing when it comes to growing into and becoming a mother. And the length and the nth degree that we will go to for our children, do not play with us or our kids. It's really not a cute thing. The last thing, like, people say that, oh, a woman scorned. No, a mother scorned. You do not fuck with a woman and her kids, period. Being that I share that same mindset and I totally understand, I see what they were trying to portray. Like, I see what was trying to be presented here. And because of that, I get if she's a struggling mom, okay? And I get that the kids were also like kind of suffering because obviously she's not as present. She's very irritable. She's blowing up at the kids. She's getting violent. There were even scenes where she envisioned harming her kids, which I can never even excuse that, because even I was like, what the fuck is going on here? That's never the way. That's never the excuse. That's never the move or the vibe ever. Give a damn what you think, say, or feel about it, right? That's just facts. However, I do understand what the movie was trying to portray, because sometimes when you're not fully present and you're more overstimulated and overwhelmed and lacking, obviously the kids suffer in multiple ways. So there's this woman in the yard who, constantly looking into the house, and her shadow is like constantly casting over the yard. And this woman is able to like finesse her way into the whole house by shadow casting into the house, right? And she gets closer and closer as the day goes by, into the night even. And what I think, now if you've seen the movie and maybe if you have a clear understanding, like maybe you can tell me, I think is the woman deaf? Because I thought this was her shadow self, but I think that it's death, because I guess the past few weeks the mom's been praying for death and she's just been wanting strength. But like, I guess the mom was like low key kind of giving up on life within herself. And it's so interesting that she feels this way, because like I told you all, like the dad, like he passed away. Well, it turns out that her and the dad had went out to dinner one night, and they argued, and the mom was like, she's not happy. She was even offering to leave her family, like leave the kids and the dad. I'm not down with that either. It's like, girl, if you're gonna leave, girl, you take your babies with you, because hell no. You know what I'm saying? I could never, be on board with a mother leaving her kids behind. I just never see it as worth it. But that's just my own personal opinion. But like, she talks about how she's like, oh, I'll just go. And then they get into a car accident. The mom's driving and she's the one that caused the accident, or at least maybe she got distracted, whatever it was, but that's how the dad perished. And I'm just like, child, now it's super deep. I'm thinking he just, died by a car accident, like literally by accident, not anything to do with the mom, right? Well, that happened. And so this woman who's like, I swear she's either the shadow self or she's deaf. And she's like, you've been praying for me, and now I'm here, and now you want to act scared and act like you ain't been praying for me. And I'm just like, girl. I'm just like, girl. I was like, girl, who are you, bitch? Like, who are you? Mind you, whole time she in the yard, girl. She in the yard. She in the house. Today's the day. Today is the day. And the night. But I just like laugh about that, and I just like troll about it, and I just think it's hilarious. And so the lady, she's like, oh, today's the day, and da da da, and you've been praying for me. And it's so weird, because it's like the Ramona, the mom, it's like she like flashes through like all different kinds of scenes of her life, including when the dad was around. And then she finally faces Death, I think. And I think when Death finally gives her that chance, because like she gives her like the gun, girl, to like do what she was gonna do with the whole shotgun too, girl. Gave her like a shotgun to like do what she was gonna do, and say, you gonna put it or not? We ain't got all night, because tonight's the night and today's the day and the evening is the evening. But it's wild. The screen goes black, and the Death is like showing her like, your kids would have been better off with the dad instead of you, because this is you, this is what you're doing. And she's like low-key throwing the mom's lack of being present in her face. So like she was like holding a lighter to like different pictures around the house of like the kids and the mom, and like illuminated it with like, and replaced them with pictures of the kids and the dad, and the kids are like happy, thriving, with the dad, whatever, saying that the mom isn't shit, right? And I'm just like, well, damn, that ain't the tea. So I'm like, that ain't the tea, you know what I'm saying? And so Death, she's like, oh, you know, they'd be happier. It better you than him, right? And I'm just like, oh, I'm like, girl. I'm like, don't let her come for you. Like, don't let her come for you. And so, I was watching it. I was like, damn. So I'm like, what you gonna do, bitch? I was like, what you gonna do? And so then all of that plays out or whatever. And I'm just like, oh my God. And then Ramona is like, okay, give me the gun. And she's holding it and like debating on what she's gonna do. Then like it goes black. And then all of a sudden you start seeing light again. Because what Ramona did, she sent the kids out before she had her moment with either Death and or her shadow self. And then next thing you know, the kids are coming back. And they're around, and it kind of goes back to a normal scene. And then remember, I told you guys that the house had like electrical issues. Magically, the lights and everything come back on. It's like a normal house. It's a happy home again. So I'm thinking that this movie ended with Ramona getting a second chance at life, or maybe a millionth chance or whatever. Like perhaps she finally fought off Death again, because she did mention to the kids were like, oh, well, what happened to the woman? What happened to the woman? Where's the woman, Mom? Well, she's gone now. And if she comes back, I'll be ready. And I'm like, okay, did you like, you know, strike a bargain? And then she seemed more present and everything. And then, you know, everything like lights up. The house is like normal and fine. And then the movie ends. So I'm wondering if that was just like representative. I don't know. I still kind of feel like it might have been the shadow self though. Like, for those of y'all who probably do, because I'm really into mindset and I'm also really into like spirituality and stuff. And so if you ever heard of like, you know, confronting your shadow self, like the dark part of yourself that's like sabotaging you, the dark part of yourself that probably has like limiting beliefs and everything like that. Like every now and then in life, like we will confront that dark side, because depending on how long you're on those darker paths, you are going to have a time in life where you are going to face that shadow part of yourself, and it's going to be it's going to be you versus you, because that's our entire lives, right? And this is like a whole deeper topic, right? But sometimes when we go through those shadow parts of our life, it's like make or break. Like, what are you going to do right now, right? Like, what exactly are you going to do? What exactly do you have planned to move forward, if you even have a plan? Are you going to get up off your ass, or are you going to stay on this spiraling path downward, right? So it's kind of like it sparked that kind of a thought in me. But overall, I'm going to be real, I would honestly rate that movie like 7 out of 10. I would say 8, but I would really just love to have more clarification on who the woman was. I would actually really appreciate it if she even had a name, because she didn't, which is why I assumed she's either Death and or a shadow self. But even if so, because there's weird imagery in the movie where it's like Ramona and the woman in the yard switch places, and it's like Ramona looking at Ramona, and it's so interesting because I almost feel like it was like a premonition, because when the husband, like right before like they get into the car accident, they're at a movie theater, and if you pay attention in like the like far left corner, the name of the movie playing is The Mirror Has Two Sides. And then there's like, imagery of Ramona looking in the mirror when she, tried to hurt her daughter, which I will never, condone. But like, it's like Ramona versus Ramona, right? So I'm like, okay, is this representative of her shadow self? Like, who is this woman in the damn yard? Okay. I would have loved it if she would have had a name. That would have helped us out so greatly. But overall, 7 out of 10. And to be honest, to be a horror movie, to be a new age horror movie at that, I was actually surprised. I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't laugh much. Like, I made a couple of jokes, like, I don't know, like, y'all, like, my friends, like, know, like, my people know, like, if you go to the movies with me, I'm gonna be a little goofball, because I'm a goofball in life, period. So yes, I'm that one that's gonna whisper and kiki a bunch of smart ass shit in your ear or whatever if we're watching the movie, because that's just who I am. But like, I had to also lighten the mood, girl, because I was a little shook. I was like, ooh, because there's times where like, it gets like really dark and ominous, and then you think that the woman's not in the house, like, ooh, did they finally like lock her out? But no, the bitch is in the house, and she's like, flickering lights and all this bullshit. I'm like, ooh, girl, I watch too much Disney nowadays to be bothered with this shit. Girl, I'm gone soft. I'm gone soft. The mommy in me has made me soft. Oh, girl, horror movies shake me now, girl. But I still love them so much. So I did enjoy it. I do recommend people to go see it. I feel slightly bad for my meme. I'm going to leave it up because, period. I mean, I didn't mean anything by it. I just thought it was like another dumb horror movie trailer. And it turns out, oh, wow, I love it. Of course. So you guys go ahead and let me know what you all think. I hope that you all are having an amazing time or an amazing day. I hope today's the day that you're having an amazing day, or tonight, or this evening. So I love you guys, and I'll see you all next one. Mwah.